Good morning. My name is Karen King here at the Bainbridge Island Senior Center check-in. And I just want to it's my pleasure to introduce Greg Dronkert. And I just wanted to let you know that we are having a 2-week fundraiser and fundraiser. So fun and fund at the Senior Community Center. And today's sponsor is PacWesty. PacWesty is an adventure travel company that connects people with the communities, culture, and environment of the Pacific Northwest. PacWesty also provides logistics and automotive repair services right here on Bainbridge Island. And I am so happy to introduce to you Greg Dronkert, the General Manager of PacWesty.
Thank you, Karen, and good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
We're delighted to join you today, and it's a beautiful day in our neighborhood, actually, here on Bainbridge. I'm here out on Day Road, and I'm going to just give you a quick little view of our facility out here. We have a shop and our main office out here. I'm showing you one of our adventure travel vans. These are classic Volkswagen Vanagons. And the main element of our business is providing adventure travel experiences for folks that want to connect with the community, culture, and environment of the Pacific Northwest. This is our 4th summer doing this kind of work, and we did it. We fell into this line of work kind of as a passion, in that this is where we live, and we wanted to share the experiences that we enjoy with others. I'll get into some elements of that business and how it's changed over the years in a moment. Another thing we do here is we have an automotive repair facility, because we have expertise in operating and repairing these vehicles. So, for example, I'm showing you one of our vans there. That's another Volkswagen Vanagon, but next to it is a classic Volkswagen 412, and you can see our service manager over there with one of our clients. And there's an old Volkswagen Beetle over there. We're one of the last shops in the Pacific Northwest that works on old air-cooled Volkswagens. It's a kind of a dying art. So a bookend for us is we work on old classic vehicles. And then I'm going to show you the modern vehicles we work on in a moment. I'll show you the shop real quick. There's a 58 Beetle that's getting ready to be electrified. You might hear some background music because we enjoy music here in our shop. That's
Good.
One of our vans being worked on. You can see Robbie over there ordering some parts. Nick's working on the Sage van right here. There's Nick. That's an outside client's van. Oh, here's Joshua coming through. Here's another client van. I'll step on out so I get away from the music, but we're an active automotive shop here on Bainbridge Island, and that really played to our advantage when the COVID stay-at-home order hit. It took all of us aback when that happened. We saw it coming, but we weren't really ready for the reality of shutting everything down. We very quickly realized that automotive repair was an essential business, which would allow us to legally stay open. And we got together with our team, many of which that you just met, and we decided that we were comfortable with our current state of health, because we had kept a very tight containment circle on ourselves and the people we were interacting with. We established very strict COVID protocols. So, for example, we don't let visitors into the shop. You can see some guests here, they're outside. We screen anyone who comes to our shop for deliveries. We screen our crew daily. The point is we adopted strict procedures, and we decided to keep working. And so the first hurdle was being able to keep everybody working and coming into work, which we did. But then the issue was there was no one renting vans, and there were no new service orders coming into the shop. Some of you might know we reached out to Town and Country Markets, and we offered to start doing grocery delivery with them. And for the first 2 weeks of that, we did it just voluntarily. We ran groceries to high-risk individuals and families on the island. Town and Country was taking orders just over the phone. It was all analog. They'd take an order, they'd write it down, we'd come pick it up, we'd go drop it off with just basic navigation system in the vehicles. But over time, it became clear that this service was going to stay, and Town and Country quickly started putting together a online marketplace where you can go online and make your purchase online. You didn't have to call anymore. And we started exploring software that would allow us to optimize the deliveries. If we had 10 deliveries at 10 different locations, it would help our driver optimize what order to do the deliveries in, and it would give them a map, and they would actually get turn-by-turn instructions. The next phase of that was we merged our delivery software with their marketplace software. And what happens now is when an order comes in, it automatically feeds into our software. And then we run from a dispatch desk what drivers we put on what assignments, and then their trip is optimized for them. Now, 27 weeks later, we're serving 4 of Town and Country stores. We're here on Bainbridge, we're in Paulsbo, we're in Ballard and Shoreline, and we're about to go to weekend service on November 1st. So that is a new line of business for us, is what I'm trying to share with you. And it allowed us to keep working during the toughest and slowest time of the COVID pandemic. And it has actually led to us hiring 5 employees over the last 27 weeks, something we're frankly proud of, that we're leaning in, we're providing employment and meaningful employment with benefits and with what you would think of as high wages for a delivery driver. So that's for us a success story. And I want to share one other element of that that's very exciting, is we're doing that with electric vehicles. I'm going to show you a Ford Transit Connect, a little delivery vehicle here that was electrified by a company back in 2011. No one has the confidence to run these machines anymore, but given our expertise in electric vehicles, we are. And we have 2 of those, and we use those for deliveries. Here's a bus, a 69 Volkswagen bus that we electrified. I guess you can tell by just reading there.
Yes.
And you can see it's plugged in. And I'll show you inside here. You might be able to see this. This is an electric motor. You can see some chargers in there. There's a cooling system to cool the controller. And on the inside here, we've set this up so that we can carry groceries in this. So here's a fun confluence of the old technology and then now the state of the art, the electrification. And what makes this even more exciting for us is this vehicle isn't just a showpiece. This vehicle goes to work every day delivering groceries here on Bainbridge or over in Paulsbo. That's a really exciting thing for us. I think I'll hold for questions, do you think, Karen? And just take all the questions at the end. Am I still coming through okay? You can hear me and not too much background noise?
Perfect.
Okay, so that's PacWesty. It is a venture travel company, a automotive repair shop, and now a logistics company. Then right next door, we expanded and we created an electric vehicle shop that's called EV Works. And the purpose of that shop is to provide electric vehicle service right here on Bainbridge Island for late modern electric vehicles, but then also to do conversions like the bus I just showed you, or this Ford Transit Connect that was a early electric vehicle that is at a stage where you need special expertise to keep it running. So EV Works is a new business. It's here on Bainbridge Island. One of the most fundamental things we're doing is these conversion of classic vehicles. I showed you the 69 bus. and then also that 58 Beetle inside the shop, which we're getting ready to do. But here's something we're really excited about. This is a modern Ram ProMaster. It is a, it's configured as a shuttle, like an airport shuttle. It's a 13-passenger shuttle van, and we have electrified this. This is built as an internal combustion engine vehicle. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but up underneath here, we've put, you can see a big box.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
That box is a Tesla Model 3 battery in its entirety. The entire battery pack was removed from a Tesla Model 3 and was installed in this van, and along with the Tesla Model 3 drive motor. So this is a Tesla powered shuttle, passenger shuttle. It is, as far as we know, the first one in the state.
Wow.
And our vision for this was we were going to provide electric shuttle service on Bainbridge this summer between the ferry terminal and downtown. But then, of course, we've got the COVID story going that changed our plans with that. So we've been using this for grocery delivery. We do the same thing. We have a cargo box that we've built for this, and then we use this to haul groceries and to do some promotional things. One of the promotional things we did is we met with the University District Food Bank, who wanted, and as you might know, the food banks go and they rescue food that's about to expire. They get it from local groceries, and they bring it back to their centers. The one I'm about to talk about is the University District Food Bank, so located in the University District. They collect the food daily. They bring it back to their center. They sort it. They dispose of anything that's gone too far, but the vast majority of the food is in excellent shape. They put it out on the shelves, and then they make it available to vulnerable individuals or folks in need. They were looking for an electric delivery vehicle. So here's a project we're just finishing up right now. We just got it back from the facility we used to get it logoed. You can see it says University District Food Bank. This is an all-electric food delivery vehicle. So this is getting ready to deliver to the client next week. Here again, first of its kind refrigerated cargo vehicle. And I'm gonna open up, show you the difference of this one. Oh, we've got one of our, actually that is not just a technician, that is the general manager of our electric shop.
That's the nicest thing he's ever said about
me. Yeah. So Jay is doing the final connection on the evaporator in there. You can see we've built an insulated cargo box in here, different than the passenger seats in the other one. And here again, I showed similar vehicle. It's the same chassis, same wheelbase. It's just this one's configured to carry refrigerated cargo. We have a vision that this kind of machine, this all-electric cargo, refrigerated cargo vehicle, could be widely adopted here in the Pacific Northwest. We think of places like Taylor Shellfish, or Arctic Seafood, or Smith Family Farms, Smith Brothers Farms, are all local companies that are moving refrigerated cargo around the area that have shown high interest in sustainability. So we think that this could be a potential model for sustainable transportation, refrigerated cargo transportation in the Pacific Northwest. Now I'm going to circle back around. I was just talking about EV Works, the electric shop, but we started at PacWesty. So now this isn't an old classic van again. This is a Ram ProMaster, like the other ones we were looking at. This is set up as a camper, a modern camper, whereas the one that's over there that's about to go out is 30 years old. This one's only a year old. This was built in 2019. Let me get inside here. So a modern camper with many of the similar features to the Volkswagen, a refrigerator, a sink, a stove, a bunk that folds out, and then an upper bunk when you pop the top up. We're about to electrify this using the same method on those other two vehicles, Tesla motor, Tesla battery. That will be the first in the country. No such thing exists right now. All electric, long range RV. And so we're excited about that and introducing it into our rental fleet.
Fantastic.
So the last thing I think I'll show you, and then we can go to questions. Oh, actually, I have two more things.
It's okay.
Here is a Nissan Leaf. Very, very popular. In fact, before the Tesla Model 3, this was the most popular EV in the world. And certainly highest selling vehicle in the United States. This is an early generation. It's a 2011. And we, working with a design group, we've been able to take the modern 2018 and younger batteries and repower this with a new battery. So these are the old batteries. We've done this several times. This is what a battery out of a Nissan Leaf looks like. We've got a new one out of a collision salvage. That means it was a wrecked vehicle, but the battery is still good. We put that battery in this vehicle and used a proprietary hardware gateway and software that would allow the new battery to talk to the old computer in the Nissan. Nissan doesn't do this. This is, again, first one in the United States. We've had this in service for 9 months now. We've put well over 6,000 miles of testing on it. We've converted 3 others for clients. And our vision for these is twofold. One is to help people keep their beloved Leafs and not have to go buy a new Leaf. But we think there's a model for low-income car share in areas in Seattle where they're trying to figure out how you bring an electric vehicle into a community at a price point that can be absorbed by that in a low-income community. So a brand new Tesla isn't going to do it. Even a brand new Bolt or Volkswagen isn't going to do it. But something like a Leaf that's been converted and upgraded with the battery could come in at a price point under $15,000 and makes that a viable program. So we're working with Seattle DOT and Puget Sound Clean Air Agency on that program, and we think we could have a demonstration project up next year.
Wow.
The very last thing I'm going to show you is walking into our electric shop. Kind of full and busy right now. That's a battery out of a Nissan Leaf. That's the upgraded one that we're getting ready to put into another vehicle. This is a battery out of those Ford delivery vans I was showing you. But if anyone remembers the 50s and 60s, there's a 69 Vespa, which I love, and then here's a 86 Vespa, and we are in the process of electrifying those. More on a lark. It just seems like a fun thing to do, and but you'll see those zipping around Bainbridge here before too long. I'll just point out Nolan, who runs our regular shop, and he's working on this cool Volkswagen 412 for a client. So that's it. That's what we have going on at PacWesty and EV Works. I think I'll close with the concept that we want to help the community. We want to work with this community to revision mobility, how people move, how people gain access to the activities and the services that they desire. In some cases, you bring the service or activity or item to you, like grocery delivery is a mobility. We're bringing the service to someone who needs it or wants it. Another one might be an adventure travel product. You want to go out into the wild or go adventure around the area. Another one might be you need to go to work, or you might have other discretionary activities like doctor's appointments and things like that. We believe that those things can be done with electric vehicles. We think they can be done in a manner by which you share those vehicles. So you could have a fleet that services Bainbridge Island of maybe 5 or 10 vehicles instead of 20 or 30 vehicles. You could do more work with fewer vehicles. They could all be electric. They could be shared. And we think that ties into the values of this community. We think it is a sustainable approach, and we think it optimizes the access to mobility. And with that, I'll pass it back to Karen and see if there's any questions.
Oh, we have a lot of questions, Greg.
Okay.
First of all, I want to appreciate your diversifying and adapting to the situation. I just think it's so impressive. So I just want to say that first off. And again, thank you for sponsoring the Senior Center too. I really appreciate that too. Sheila Kerwin, she had a question. Where are you located? I know you said Day Road, but I think the location on Day Road.
So we're at 7869 Northeast Day Road. That's in the Bainbridge Business Park. That's where the martial arts studio was, where there's a yoga studio here. Iggy's Kombucha is here, and the prep kitchen for Hitchcock is out here. So up off of Day Road, I just passed where the AG stainless sign is. Okay.
I think we know where that's at. And Carolyn had a question. What's the range of those electric vehicles? I know they're probably different.
That's an excellent question.
Yeah.
And that's usually that's the first question. So the first one, the green bus that we did, earlier technology, but not as much demand on what that machine has to do, is about 75 miles. Okay. We're working on doubling the battery capacity to double the range to see if we can do it, mostly, but you give up space and volume in the vehicle. The shuttle I showed you, that is 150-mile range, but we are at literally this weekend, we're putting in DC fast charging. So without charging, it's 150 miles between a charge. But with the fast charging would fill it up within 2 hours. So the DC fast charging allows you to head out on a trip, stop for lunch, charge up your vehicle, or stop to shop, charge up your vehicle, and have another full charge in it. So 150 miles to answer that question.
Perfect.
The food truck vehicle, the delivery van, that has a bigger battery in it, that'll be 175 miles. And then the camper we're about to do will be 200-mile range, plus DC fast charging. Nice.
Hey, who did the artwork on that delivery van with the vegetables on it? That's great.
Yeah, that's fun. That's our in-house graphic artist. She did the design. She did it based on the food bank's logo. So their logo is this logo with the Apple and University District Food Bank. And then she did the play on, playing with the apples, which is fun. And then they wanted to add that it's an electric vehicle on there.
Right.
And then the graphics themselves were done by a company called Prism Graphics over in South Seattle that does all the logoing on our vehicles.
Wonderful. It's wonderful. It's really eye-catching. So Reed Price had a question. He says, can you share what the transformation costs are for
For sure. So I'll just cover the vehicles I showed you. The green electric bus, not counting the bus, but it has about $20,000 of electrical components between batteries, the motor, the controller, which controls the voltage that goes to the motor and how fast you go, the battery management system that controls how how you charge the batteries so that they're charged evenly and in a manner that won't cause any kind of a runaway incident with the batteries. So about 20,000 in material costs on that one. The electric shuttle, the far electric shuttle with the DC fast charging has about 35,000 of components in it, between the Tesla battery, the Tesla motor, the controllers, all the modified bracketing and everything, and axles to do the modification. To add DC fast charging is about another 5,000 for the components to allow it to take DC fast charging, and that's the same cost of the components that we put in this one. They'll be the same that we put in the camper. The Nissan Leaf upgrade is about 12,000 in components, 10 to 12,000 in components for that.
Okay, there you go. That answers that question. And I think this was answered before, but what range do you expect on the camper van? Let's see, I think
yeah, that's 200 miles on that. And the reason it's going to have the same battery pack as the University District Food Bank. It's a 75 kilowatt hour pack to anybody who's following electric vehicles. And the reason it will get better range is it's a lower configuration van. It doesn't have the high top, and it's a shorter van. And so basically has less wind resistance, which is really kind of the big issue on vehicle efficiency is the block coefficient that you're trying to move through the air.
Right. So that's very important. And with electric vehicles, that really comes into play. So, but what is the furthest you allow the van to go from Bainbridge Island?
On our adventure travel vans, so the one like the folks are packing into right now. This is kind of fun because we have guests here. They're going through an orientation on the vehicle right now and getting ready to head out. Our normal range is about 500 miles. That pretty much allows anything in Washington, Oregon, or Idaho, but under special approval. It's not a complicated process, but given our approval, we've had them go as far as San Diego, and we've had them go as far as Yellowstone to the east. So in general, 1,000 miles is what we think the true limit is. But generally we try to keep them within 500.
Oh, okay. Yeah. We have several friends that, they did not want to fly and they ended up driving places. And I'm not sure if they were aware of your service. And so I think that we're going to have to pass this along to everybody. So,
well, we're really excited about introducing that Ram, the Ram ProMaster camper down there. That is built on as I said, the Ram ProMaster chassis, but the upfit, the turning it into a camper, is done by a company called Pleasureway in Canada, and that model is called the Tofino. So if anyone's curious of looking into what features are in that, what is going to be an electric camper van, it's the Pleasureway Tofino.
Okay.
And that machine is the cat's meow. I mean, it's super comfortable, modern, will have long range, all the elements and safety features of a modern vehicle, where the Volkswagens are a little more nostalgic, a little rougher, less features, but have their own fantastic following. And so we'll be offering kind of the fun, funky Volkswagens and then the modern ProMaster.
Yeah. Tofino, you can't get much more Canadian than that, eh?
Isn't that? And I can't wait. As soon as the restriction to go into Canada is lifted, I'm going to drive that up there with my surfboards and electric, and we'll do a road show. We'll do a video. And
we would love that. Oh man, you could come back and do a travel log for us. So.
Yeah, we will.
And so Bob King said, can you use a Tesla fast charging systems?
So Bob, you can't. It's a great question. We will be using the CCS protocol on the charging. So there's kind of three for fast charging, CHAdeMO, CCS, and the Tesla. And so we'll be using the CCS.
Okay. And Jim Stearns, are you planning to maintain modern VW EVs such as the ID4?
Yes. So EV Works, we've had, we're a new company, so not a lot of traffic yet, but we've worked on the Chevy Bolts, Toyota Prius, the Nissan Leaf. So yes, we have the tools and equipment to be able to work and service modern EVs, and we wanted to be able to provide that as a local service. As far as we know, there are no other auto shops on Bainbridge, and probably not over in Seattle yet, that will do electric vehicle work. You go to the OEMs, you go to the Nissan dealer or the Chevy dealer for that work. But yeah, we're certainly the first electric vehicle shop out here on the peninsula, and I believe in Seattle as well.
So Bob said a factory authorized service?
Well, it's not factory authorized in that we haven't sent all our techs through the factory training courses. So not yet factory authorized, but that's the short answer is not yet.
Not yet.
The long answer is that the protocols and the systems and the diagnostic tools that we use are very standardized, and the training's very standardized. And so we don't necessarily see the factory certification as being a barrier, but it's a great point. And we have not sent any of our techs to the factory schools.
Okay. Oh, good to know. Thank you. So is there any other questions? You can open your mic if you have another question.
Karen, there was one from Carolyn, another one from Carolyn.
Oh, Carolyn, what was that? I didn't see it.
Just under reads.
I read it already, I think.
No.
No, I didn't, huh? Is there any reason why there seems to be, is there any reason there seems to be mostly Dodge Ram conversions?
There is. So we chose the Dodge Rams because they're front wheel drive. And when we use the Tesla motor, we are able to place that motor right up front where the internal combustion engine used to go. And then with a fairly basic modification to the drive axles, we were able to use the CV joints that connect to the hubs, to the wheels. It makes it a very clean installation as opposed to other vans that are rear wheel drive. Then we'd have to put in a drive line, a drive axle that would go up and that would go from the motor and drive back to a differential to the rear wheel. So it's a much cleaner installation is the short answer. We will, working with our designer, we're looking at modification of other models of vans, but right now we're trying to perfect the one we've chosen, and we chose it because it was front wheel drive.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
The other interesting twist on that one, though, is when you remove the gas tank, the shape of the Tesla battery fits just perfectly underneath the van. So it was both front wheel drive and then the under chassis area that we were dealing with. It just fits perfectly into the ProMaster.
All right. Bob King said, how is the weight balance affected by the conversion?
Yeah, that's another great question. It is improved. When you look underneath here, I don't know if you can see it, but we'll try. You can see this box. This is the battery. The battery, we have put all this weight down low. We've put it between the front and rear axles. So the stability of the vehicle is greatly enhanced. We've lowered the center of gravity. The drivability is very noticeable. It's a much more solid drive. The acceleration, because of the electric motor, is much more apparent, and so stability is improved.
Very good. Anybody else? Any other questions? You're very thorough, Greg.
This is
Well,
just fascinating stuff, though. I mean,
Yeah.
really,
we're having a blast, I have to admit. And
until
my background is in logistics and engineering. I was with a maritime business that I started and grew and merged with other company over the years, and I recently left that business, and it became a national business, but we did some international things, and I deliberately came home to focus on my community and the surrounding area, the region, and again, our vision is mobility, is improving mobility to improve people's lives, and we sincerely are engaged in that. That's our passion.
Bob King said, excellent, glad to have you on the island. And I second that one. I just think this is a tremendous business. I went to your website before I was to host you, and I looked at it and went, wow, this is such a great service. And now I see how diversified you are. It's really kind of amazing. And all I can say is good job. So.
Well, thank you. It's our team that's doing it, and you're going to see them all buzzing around here. And last note on that is, if you look, we've set ourselves up as a social purpose corporation. It's a new designation in Washington State. It means that you aspire to more than making money. Of course, we need to keep the lights on, but my point is, we're driven by a social purpose, and we've documented that in our registration with the state. We're one of very few companies that have done that, and that is in our core values.
Wow, wonderful. You certainly fit in well here on Bainbridge Island.